G'day guys, welcome back. I do apologise, I haven't had a video out for a little while, just been having a bit of a spell. Yeah. Biggest thing I have trouble with in this shop is storage of shit. Things like the rotary table, vices, all that sort of stuff. I've seen a few other YouTube creators building trolleys for, for storing their stuff on, that they can just wheel over to a milling machine or their lathe. I know Aaron's building one at the moment. It's got a crane on it that he can lift the rotary table off his mill onto the cart, all that sort of stuff. So I think I might follow suit. About probably 12-13 years ago I built a steel cabinet. I used to have my toolboxes on because I was too piss poor broke to buy a proper king chrome one or something. So I scabbed together some materials and just built a basic cabinet, and it's lasted for ages. It's on casters. So I've been up and bought a sheet of ply. I'm going to put a ply top on it, where it's only got a piece of tin on there, a sheet metal on there at the moment. Put a piece of ply on the top that I can paint up, make it look pretty. I want to put a couple of shelves inside and put a little crane on the end of it that I can just lift the rotary table, sit it on the mill table, because they're friggin' heavy. Just try and make things a little bit easier, and I think it'd be a fun project to build a little lightweight crane. It's gonna be nothing special, nothing flash, just pretty basic setup. I am buggered in the arms, and I do have a lot of trouble lifting these tables, so these rotary tables and that. So that's what we're going to do. How it works out, I've got no idea. I've got no plans. Just build it on the wing. Just wing it. Hopefully it works. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, well, put it down to experience. Anyway, I'll spin you around, show you the cabinet. I just got shit on top of it. I've got all power tools just thrown in underneath it, and show you what my proposed plan is anyway. Whether it works or not, we don't know. Anyway, we'll have a look. So this is the cabinet I built probably 12-13 years ago. Nothing special, nothing flash, just square bloody RHS, tin top, tin doors, lots of memories, and a big mess underneath. So this is only sheet metal. You can see it, it's thin as shit. Same with the doors, all the same. So I'm going to take this top off and screw a wood plyboard one down. I'd like to put a couple of shelves, sort of split it in half, that I can store stuff in. I've got collar chuck sets, boxes of nuts and bolts, vices, bottles of oil and stuff that I can, weigh oils and all the cutting oils and all that sort of gear. Store it all in one spot that I can just wheel it around, sit it next to the mill. Like I say, I want to put a little crane on the arse on the end of it, so I can lift the rotary table, which the rotary table normally sits here. Lift the rotary table on and off the mill. Store my chucks on it. All this, just all stuff related to milling and lathing. And so I'm going to clean it all out. I'm not going to worry about showing, I'm not going to top and everything off, but put the plyboard top on it, and then I'll worry about trying to build a crane for the edge of it. Now I got the lid off. What a prick of a job that was. Anyway, got a bit rough in that section there. She tore out a bit, but anyway. Though I had a heap of big spanners hanging there ages ago. I'm going to leave them on there. I can't be bothered cutting them off. They're not going to do any harm. It's all pretty square, to be honest with you. 850 long, 550 wide. So, pile of sheet in the corner there. So I'll cut the sheet of ply next and get it bolted down, and I might put a strip of thin aluminium angle around the outside just to protect the edges, and that'll be the top on. Well, bit of an update, sorry about the sunny glare there, but I really realised again why I don't do woodwork, because I hate the messy shit. And I put an aluminium, I had some old aluminium angle laying around. Put that around just to cover up the dodgy edge. It didn't look real pretty, but it is all the way around, which will help protect it. But simply smash the top off, the tin top, cut this out, the wood out, screwed it down, screwed the angle on, job's done. Which is, didn't really miss a hell of a lot doing that, I can tell you. But the whole box actually even feels better now because it's not tinny, like it's made it a bit more dense. So it'll do the job. Okay. Well, this is something I absolutely forgot I even owned. This was a crane I had on my ute here bloody years ago. I ended up, took it off, put a canopy on my ute. Just sat it in behind the little shed and garden shed and forgot all about the bastard. I was wandering around looking for some material, and I thought, well, why can't I just use that? I had the ram tucked in the corner of the workshop here, so it wasn't left out in the weather. So I scabbed around and found that. Years ago I did convert it, well, the old man actually converted it and put a hub off a trailer hub, so it spins easier. Normally they had a big tube, they just tube one tube inside the other, but it spins easy. As you can see, just goes round and round by itself. It clears. It will go to 90 degrees both ways, which you don't want to go any more than that for what I want to do with it. I can shorten this main jib here and have it so the hook will come back further, but as it sits there now, if you drop it down, it's right in the middle of the table, right in the middle of the top. I think it might actually just bloody work. So I've got a couple of lengths of this 3-inch box section, run them underneath and weld them up to the bottom of the frame. So it's going over halfway the length of the cabinet. Just make sure I've got a heap of weight in the cabinet before I go lifting anything, so it doesn't wheel stand on me. Going to be the duck's nuts. Give it a coat of paint, clean it all up, might just work. It's better than sitting there doing nothing, I suppose, and when you forget you have stuff, it's a bit of a surprise. Just want to give a shout out to my mate Trevor. Made this up. Slide on. Works well, Trev. Works very well. Bloody good idea, mate. Better try and balance and everything. And yeah. Bit rough, no pile at all, but you're right. get these nuts on, I'm going to have to buggerise around here a little bit. Got a bit of duct tape over the end of that spanner. What the fuck? Got one weird bolt. Just got to line it up. Just like that. Righto, I'll get them nipped up and bring us back. Alright, we've got it all bolted down. Just going to put the tip the whole cart upside down now, and then we'll weld this on. Righto, it's got upside down. Looks pretty ordinary at the moment, all rusty and shitty, but go to jam, we'll soon clean it up. Got it centralised enough at the front here. We're just going to put something else in here that goes from one side to the other, just so we can brace it, and then I will put another couple of braces off over here as well. Like, it's not going to be lifting a lot of weight, so it's not going to, don't have to be built like a brick shitter, but yeah, be interesting to see how Trent's welding goes too. Got one boy educating the other boy here. He's in his school uniform still.
No, it's perfect. Now just straighten along here.
Nothing wrong with that, mate. Bit of brotherly education's going on here. You done well, boys. Good job. Oh, a bit of an update here. Super stoked that Trent and Toby had to screw around with the welder last night and welded this on for me. They done a good job, and it's good to see Toby having a go too. Even though he was in his school uniform, he's got a couple of little burn holes in his good jumper, but anyway, that's life. Mum hasn't seen that yet. But all I've got in here at the moment is 2 sets of collets on the top and that drop saw in the front. And believe it or not, Jack this up. Spin it around to the side. Take the handle out first, dickhead. Spin it around to the side. There's no fear of it even wanting to tip over, you can still wheel it along. And that's with no weight in it. Or next to no weight. So really the rotary table is probably only going to be the heaviest thing going to go on it. I'm going to have to put a brake on this somehow. I don't know yet what I'm going to do there. That'll probably be a later update or an upgrade if you want to call it that. But works well. I was actually very surprised, like being stuffed around here for a few hours last night. We had to bleed the ram again. It had been sitting for bloody years. Lifted it on the mill table, no drums in whatsoever. What I think I'll do now is give it a coat of jam. I'm going to paint the box blue, crane will be yellow because I've got a heap of Kill Rust yellow brush on paint that I want to use up. So I'll paint the crane yellow, paint the box blue. I'm not going to worry about painting the aluminium or the top. I'll probably varnish the top, make it look pretty. But do the rest of it blue, like I paint everything else blue. And the sheet of ply over there, I'm just going to use that to make a couple of shelves inside, so should look all right. All the bits drying, and I can tell you now there is a shitload of runs in it. Very, very dodgy, rough as guts paint job, but it looks better than being faded old crappy black. Well, that's a bit of a vast change from before with a bit of blue paint. It actually looks good from 100 yards. Paint is still a touch tacky. I actually painted the whole lot. It's amazing it actually looked quite shithouse before, being that calf shit colour. And the crane being faded black and so on. I haven't worked out what I'm going to put on the top yet. I thought if I paint that blue it's going to be miles too much, and I can't find my tin of varnish. But I haven't painted the ram on the crane neither. I just thought that's going to be miles too much yellow. So I'll just work out what to do there later. But just put a simple chain down the bottom here that we hook onto so I can't spin around. Pretty basic. But Toby's out here with me now, so we'll put the rotary table on the cabinet. It's actually on the mill. We're going to lift it off the mill and we'll show you how it works. Right, I hope you can see there. Just jack her up, Toby, and we'll spin around and put it back on the mill. Up you go, mate. Up you go. Up you go. Righto. Gently let her down at that.
Backing up.
There you go. There we go. Just as simple as that. It works. And yeah, I'll show you inside the cabinet in a second. The cabinet really feels stable. Way more stable than I honestly thought it was going to be. I thought it would be tippy-toeing and being a pain in the ass, but it's actually bloody good. Very surprised. Pleasantly surprised. But lift her on the table again, off the table, and pack her up, eh?
Go.
I've got to make, oh, I can see there. I've got to make up a block that has a couple of dowels in it, that this just sits on the top here and just registers in the 2 dowels where the bolt holes are, so it can't fall over. And then we can put it on the toe, because the actual handle is lower than the base. So I've got to make up a block so I can just lock it down or drop it on, you know, and then it can be retained there. But I'm pretty darn impressed. Bring her up here, mate. Rolls very easily. So I'll show you what I've done on the inside. Another well organised, non-organised area. So all I've done was put a partition down the middle, or just off centre. I put a simple shelf in. It's got my 3 vices, the indexing fixture I made, and the tailstock for that. I don't use electric drills very often. I use the grinders a bit, so I'll put them at the front. I could later on put another shelf up top here, later on maybe. But for now, that's way better than what I had previously. At least all me, you know, all the vices are out of the way. They're put away somewhere. On the top, the collet sets are going to go on the top, and most common use stuff like the chucks and shit like that. So it's going to be a trial and error for a little while till I work out how I want it all set up. But for a box that was sitting over behind the workbench for a bloody long time, collecting crap on top, and when you wanted to get something out of there, it was just a tangled mess. Because I did have 2 drop saws. That one takes a steel blade, and I have one that takes a normal fibre blade, but it decided to catch on fire the other week and it's non-existent any longer. But it was just always a tangled mess. But at least now it's got half organised. Way better than what I had. So, pretty happy. There we go. That's another good project done. I know it was a pretty wild, rough project, but hey, it works. And I want to give a massive thanks to Aaron for giving me the shunt along to do this project. And I want to thank me boys a lot. Like for coming out last night, and like Trent welded that up. Toby's been handy tonight, helped me put all this back together after I painted it today. They've been great. So Toby, who's right beside me, he really enjoyed jumping on the welder last night and having his first crack. And it was good to see Trent passing on what he knows onto Toby and getting him started. I just sat back and watched him go for it, and he done a bloody good job. Trent done a fantastic job of welding the base on. I'm very impressed. So thanks again, Aaron. I really appreciate what you've done. Aaron sent through his 3D drawing to me of his setup, which I was going to do something similar until I remembered I had this, or seen that I had this, which worked out even better because it didn't cost me anything. So all it cost me was a bit of paint. That's all it, yeah, the rest I had laying around. The sheet of ply I bought to make the missus a bench or a shelf inside, but in the laundry, but I never got there yet. Hopefully I've used up too much ply and I don't have to build the shelf. Anyway, thanks for that, guys. Appreciate you following along. I know it's nothing special. It was a probably a pretty shit video, to be honest. But it was a job that I needed to get done, and that's a part of it. Anyway, see you on the next build. All right.